All right, welcome to Friday Night Live. We are sponsored by Craig Faile, owner of Blackbridge Financial. Make sure you check out Blackbridge Financial for all your money needs and have some great tools that'll help you manage your money in the right way. Um, man, I, I feel like I say this every time I come on Friday Night Live because there's always something that's going on that really gets your attention. And tonight, in the fourth round of the state playoffs, there are definitely some things that got our attention. And our CFI group chat has been going crazy with a lot of talk tonight. Um, I did not go to a game tonight. I had to do some work things earlier in the evening, but I was able to get home and caught some streams, caught some action. The main game I ended up watching, which ended up being an awesome game, was Grimsley and Huff. Huff going on the road to take on Grimsley, and um, I'm sad to say. I mean, I was pulling for Huff. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. You're one of those guys to get over the hump. Some really talented kids and some good coaches from the 704, going up there for the third time um, in the past 3 years, 3 years in a row. But Grimsley just proved to be too tough, man. Grimsley pulled that one out 35-28. Some really, really great offensive play calling on both sides in that game. I mean, they were just going head to head, toe to toe. Great calls, especially in the fourth quarter. Um, I thought Coach Sean Baker's call to get Funderburk his third touchdown when they motioned the quads and then ran the throwback screen. That was high level stuff, man. And then Grimsley coming back on the fourth down and one, and you may not have seen the game, but Grimsley had a 4th and 1 and down near the red zone. They get a false start penalty, makes it 4th and 6. The game's tied at 28. They didn't want to kick the field goal to go up by 3, so they went for it on 4th and 6, and then they roll the quarterback Brandon to the right with all they had a motion guy from the slot motion to the right, rolled to the right. The tight end, who's a very talented kid, DJ Howerton, delayed at the line and then ran a tight end wheel opposite. It's a take on a tight end delay play, but they put a wheel on it, and nobody was around him for the go ahead touchdown. I mean, it was just incredible scheme, high level offensive football. But at the end, Grimsley's defensive end, Bryce Davis, I believe he's going to Duke, made a big sack on that drive. Huff was trying to get down to tie the game, and that sack really killed their momentum on that last drive there. And then Blakeney threw a ball in the end zone that Tyron Evans couldn't come up with, and that was it. That was the end of the game. Um, and I hate it for him, man. I really wanted them to pull that one out. Some really good kids on that Huff Husky team. We took 4 in the Queen City Senior Bowl. We really think a lot. Well, I think a lot of those guys. Not only on the field but as a coaching staff. So, um, keep your head up, guys. You had a great season, but that Grimsley, that coach, that coaching staff can coach too. They got some good kids up there as well. All right, so we got some comments coming in. I had a feeling I know what y'all want to talk about. But let's see what you got in the comments here. All right, let's get into it. Um, Man, at least you dedicated. You're the first comment on here. I didn't think I'd see you, man. I shout you out for even being here because West Charlotte, man. Yeah, West Charlotte. Woo! Oh, we gotta talk about it, man. Good gracious. 39-13. Yeah. Um, from what I was seeing, I read some things about the game. From the Dudley perspective, it looks like the same kind of offensive issues that we saw at Jam Robinson. A lot of the just kind of sloppy play, pre-snap penalties, not able to get anything going consistently. It looked like it was kind of the same deal. And then West Charlotte, um, West Charlotte's got some real talent, some real athletes, and I've got to shout out Coach Sam Griner because we were talking on the show Wednesday night, and me and producer, when Coach Griner won the championship at Harding in 2017, we covered that team every week throughout that championship run. And when they got to the game against Vance, they were still Vance back then, and they were playing Coach Brand, and a lot of people were saying, well, Vance has this, Vance has that. Coach Brand has got this experience, and they've been there, and Harding hadn't been there, and all that. And both me and him, me and producer said, hey, when people start talking about that, talking like that about Sam Griner, I don't know what happens, but he gets that team super focused, super coached up, and they go out there and they execute. And that's what happened tonight, because a lot of things offensively with West Charlotte, they've been close. They've been working on it. And that's what I like about that team. We saw West Charlotte earlier this year when they played Cox Mill. And it was, it wasn't a close game, but they worked on things that they knew they were going to need down the road. They worked, things with their young quarterback. They worked on some different formation stuff, some different motion stuff, some play action stuff in the passing game. And all that stuff, I was watching highlights. All that stuff is what they ran tonight against Dudley. It's smart coaching. You're coaching with the big picture in mind. You get into those games where it's not as close. You work on things that you're going to need down the road. And they've prepared themselves very well. And I know they've done the same thing in these earlier playoff games where the score wasn't close, but they worked on things they were going to need when you face a team like Dudley. And from what I saw offensively from West Charlotte, they kept Dudley off balance. And when you're facing a great defense, just like with Huff and Grimsley tonight, you're going to have to be able to attack them on the ground and in the air. You have to have a balanced attack, because when a defense is really good and they can zero in on one thing, they're going to be really good. And from what I saw, they kept Dudley off balance all night long offensively. I mean, they had those guys running from side to side. It's impressive. And, one thing that we talked about on Wednesday night, we talked about Dudley's side-to-side speed. Now, the difference is West Charlotte has some athletes that kind of negate the speed advantage Dudley showed when they played J.M. Robinson going side to side. So that is a big difference. And, just kudos to West Charlotte, man. That's impressive to go up there and get that done in such an impressive fashion. I don't think anyone was surprised that West Charlotte could win the game. I think it's the margin. I mean, I think that's what surprised a good bit of people out here. That's for sure. All right, let's see. Let's get some more on here. Monroe and Shelby score. Yeah. So I believe I retweeted it. I think it was 41-23 was the final score. Monroe defeating Shelby. And, from what I saw, we had a guy, Adam Big Eye, was down there. And he was sharing some things with us. And, the main thing he said was just Monroe's just so fast. The speed is really impressive. And the way Monroe kind of took that game over in the second half, they took the Shelby crowd out of it, and they were just methodical in doing what they were doing on offense, and they found some stops on defense, and they ended up winning by nearly 3 touchdowns. And one of those important guys, Zion Bus Lindsay, what's up, man? I think he had a 30-yard touchdown run, I believe, if I saw that correctly. Congratulations, Zion. You guys moving on to the next round, playing at home next week against Brevard. We're going to be pulling for you, man. We pulling for the 704 in the playoffs, man. Go up there and get it done. it doesn't get to that state championship game, man. That's good stuff. That's real good stuff. All right, let's see what else y'all talking about. J Man is here. Yeah, man. See you tomorrow morning. It's about to be tomorrow in about 5 minutes. But yeah, I'll talk about that at the end. But J Man's also saying a Hickory two-peat bucket. Ooh, I don't know now. I don't know, you got a West Charlotte team going to Hickory this week. I don't know about that. Let's see here. We got some more. Elisha Wilson saying, Dub C, you know, Dudley who? Well, I mean, I've said it. Ain't much else to say. And Elisha also saying they got some barbecue crow for the haters. Oh, okay. All right. We're sending on up to what is that? 1200 what's the street up there? Lincoln Street, 1200 Lincoln Street. That's Dudley's high school address. Y'all didn't know what I was talking about. Oh man. Chat administrator, what's up, man? Tonight was a great night. Oh, and you gotta let it go, man. You gotta let it go. If y'all don't know what he's talking about, he's not a Huff fan, so he's happy with Huff losing. Coach Peavy, Corvian, ending the longest win streak in state history. Now it's not in state history, but the state history streak is a whole different deal. But it was the current longest winning streak in the state. And that's Mount Airy, who had a 44-game winning streak snapped on their home field as Corvian went up there and beat them 14-7, which is an awesome win. It's a great job for Corvian, those staff and those players. You know, they're kind of under the radar a bit in Charlotte because of all the other big schools here, but they have made a great run and a great season down in 1A, and they're getting ready to go to regional final where they got to go to Mountain Heritage High School in Burnsville. Burnsville's in the mountains, well, hence the name Mountain Heritage. But if I'm not mistaken, Burnsville was an area affected by Hurricane Helene, so I'm glad to see that those guys, you know, will get the chance to host a regional final this season. You know, that's going to be a really great experience. I looked at Burnsville on the map to see if we could go up there and cover the game, but it's the CFI gas card doesn't go that far. I have to be honest. We can't afford a trip to Burnsville, unfortunately, but you know, that's awesome for Corby. And Coach, let me know who did good in that game so we can shout them out, man. I want to give you guys, give those players some love, especially, man. Great job. All right, let's see what else you got here, guys. Yeah, we know the D boys got whooped. Yep, we know that. Let's see here. Constant disrespect to. See, I think society uses the term disrespect way too much. You know, Hickory is a team that I think has earned a ton of respect. Coach Glass and those guys are amazing on offense, as we've said before. I think public perception is because defensively they give up a lot of points. Like tonight, Hickory won over North Lincoln in a conference rematch, 49-46. So when people see that score, it's kind of like, well, you know, maybe they're gettable, you know, because they give up a lot of points and they're, you know, it's a close game against North Lincoln and people don't really know about North Lincoln. So they just assume, you know, they ain't that great. But yeah, I think that it's public perception because they give up a lot of points that, you know, it may be a little bit of, you know, not recognizing how good they are. But I mean, hey, we got a Hickory West Charlotte regional final next week. So, you know, we gonna see, and they got a chance to earn the respect. If they knock off West Charlotte for sure. Let's see here. Our Clover guy, Marty Bird, saying he just got back from the Northwestern Gaffney game, old-fashioned high school game for the ages. That was a lot of points. Northwestern won 58-40, and they'll play Irmo next week for the 5A Division II state title. Man, that's gonna be a heck of a game. You talking about offense? Northwestern and Irmo? That is going to be a shootout of massive proportions. I mean, Paige Wofford at Northwestern in South Carolina has done an amazing job with that program. I remember we covered Northwestern a couple times during the COVID year when there was no school. Well, yeah, there was no school in Charlotte that fall. So we covered like private schools in South Carolina because they were playing. And that year was his second year. And his first year, Northwestern actually had a losing record, and they wanted to get rid of him. And I remember interviewing him after they beat someone in the playoffs. And he had a passionate answer to my question about what was the turnaround in their program. And he said, nothing's really changed. We've always been good. We just had to get our schedule right and make sure we had people in the right place in order to start winning. But nothing's changed. And, ever since then, they have been a pinnacle of a strong program in South Carolina. So congrats to Northwestern for sure, man. There's Big Guy. He's here. Good to see you, man. I appreciate your insight that you had on the Monroe and Shelby game. And they are coming for Adam on Facebook if you are any of our Facebook friends. Monroe guys are going after him hard. Oh man. Dirty Diana says, my boy, that QB dropped dimes tonight. Number 4. I'm assuming your son is Jamori Nichols. Am I right? Because we interviewed him after that Cox Mill game, and I told him, I said, it's fun to watch you play, and I said, this is going to be the first of a few interviews we're going to do with you because you're a heck of a player, and he certainly is, and he's got a heck of a quarterback coach, and Coach Littlejohn, who's doing an amazing job with him, and helping out that West Charlotte offense, be efficient and be on time and execute really well. And you can't discount what Coach Littlejohn's brought to that program. He's got championship experience as an OC at South Point when they won their state championship a couple years ago in South Carolina. So it's really good stuff right there. All right, so Armani Bird also wants to shout out Tom Knotts going to his 23rd state title game. Deserves a statue at Dutch Fork in Independence. Yeah, and he coached tonight in shorts. 28-degree weather. And I don't know if Tom Knotts is human. But yeah, you got to shout out him. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, man, for sure. Let's see here. Oh, come on, Bobby. Really? Monroe played the refs. Well, it doesn't matter, man. No matter who wins a game, the other side always is gonna blame the refs, man. We got to get past that, man. So Coach Peavy saying that Noah Best from Corvian was clearly the best offensive player on the field. All right. Yeah. Shout out Noah. Good job, man. Way to get it done. Way to get it done, man. We're real happy for you. We're real happy. And he's a heck of a player as well. Jesse Villanueva says, I guess Monroe paid no mind to all the state championship banners in Cleveland. Oh man, y'all are bad tonight. Y'all are bad, man. And then Bobby Wallace is also saying Jordan Young did his thing, and he wants to shout out Jordan Young. Jordan Young being a guy who was committed to Clemson, star safety and receiver. He's now flipped his commitment to Michigan, and Michigan got a heck of a player in Jordan Young. He is a special young man, that is for sure. I am in the middle of getting ready to get Adam on the show. So, Adam, if you're seeing this, I'll send you the link here in just a second. But let's go through some scores while I'm getting Adam set up here. So, we talked about Grimsley and Huff. Grimsley won that game 35-28 on the last. It was actually 52 seconds left in the game on that play, though they took the lead in the fourth quarter. And then on the other side of the 4A bracket, we hadn't really talked about it yet, but Shaquan was there. Weddington defeating East Forsyth 37-21, and basically Shaquan sent me a ton of information that I'll try to, get out here. But basically, what he was saying was that Weddington really did a great job controlling the line of scrimmage on the offensive line, and they really ran the ball well at East Rutherford, ran a lot of inside zone right at them, and East Rutherford had trouble, getting off blocks and making tackles, and they did a lot of damage in the running game. And then on the flip side of the ball, Weddington was able to get a really good pass rush, which we all know pretty well if you're watching this show. They were able to get a good pass rush on East Forsyth. Bryce Breaker was never really comfortable in the pocket, even though he was able to scramble and make some plays every now and then. Weddington's running game and then their defensive pass rush just ended up being too much to handle. So that's going to set up Weddington going up to play Grimsley in the regional final next week. Adam, are you ready? I don't see you. I see you, but I don't see your camera. Working out technical issue. Oh, okay. I see you. All right. So let me bring on Adam, Big Eye, Shelby Weber, and let him talk about, I presume, Monroe and Shelby. So
What's going on, Pep?
yeah.
Oh man, what a tough night! What a tough night.
I applaud you getting on here, man, because you've been
Hey
getting.
man, hey, I ain't never gonna run, man. Hey man, it's part of it. I will say shout out to Monroe though, man. I think I seen a team Monroe get punched in the mouth early, and all they did was come out and bandage up and deliver the blow right back and end up finishing the game. Um, Monroe, I mean, like I said, Jordan Young did his thing. I think he had a touchdown, maybe two touchdowns in the interception or a touchdown in the interception. Then they have both of the running backs that they played tonight, man. They both two big physical running backs. They was able to put the ball on the ground in the second half, and it's kind of wear Shelby down. Um, the coaching staff made great adjustments in their second quarter, moving on, man, and that was the kind of the tail of the game. Monroe did a lot of things on defense that put them in great situations throughout the whole night. And man, they had a good band over there playing, and it was just kind of one of those nights for Monroe that they came down to Shelby and ended the playoff home game winning streak that was up since 2009. So, just shout out to the Monroe, that staff and those players, man. Congratulations to y'all. Man, I gotta give a shout out to my guy Dale Crowder, man, and Dre Johnson and Q Wright. You know, hey man, unfortunately I'm on the losing side once again, but always be love for my guys back home in Shelby.
Well, hopefully that'll keep them from making a highlight tape from your clips from the show.
Well, yeah, I mean Monroe, man, they're as good as advertised, man. They had um they get the quarterback is a real good guy, man. He's faster than what you see on tape, seeing it
hmm
live, man. They have a bunch of different guys that they can run the ball with, and the quarterback made the necessary throws when he needed to. So the better team won tonight, but unfortunately that my hometown, my guys, man, had to be on the losing end this time.
Well, that's okay, man. You can't win every state championship.
Yeah, I mean you can't win them all. Hopefully this just fueled the off season.
There it is, man. Well, drive safe, and we'll see you we'll see you in about 12 hours, man.
Yeah, about 12 hours, man. Make sure all players come check in, height, weight, 40 time. And Twitter, man.
Get out of here. That's an inside joke. No, don't mind that. Anyway. All right, so let's kind of recap before we get off here. So we talked about 4A. Let me jump to 3A. Well, let's talk about 4A on the east side because now we're going to start looking at who's going to come up. So Roseville just absolutely rolled the 1 seed Cleveland 49-6. Man, Coach Rackley and his team, very impressive victory. We saw them locally, in week 1 what they did to Butler. So they're still rolling. And no pun intended there. They're gonna face Cardinal Gibbons. Cardinal Gibbons defeat. Who did they play? Let me try to find out who they played here. Now they defeated Hoggard. Wow, 38-0. Wow, 2 blowouts in the East. So we got Roseville, Cardinal Gibbons in the 4A East Regional Final next week, and then we got Grimsley Weddington in the West. So, and those seeds, Roseville's a 5 seed, and Cardinal Gibbons is a 2 seed in the East. All right. All right, let's jump to 3A. And we've talked about 3A, obviously, with West Charlotte, what they did to Dudley. And we talked about Hickory defeating North Lincoln. It's going to set up a regional final of West Charlotte going to Hickory. West Charlotte, the 8 seed, and Hickory, the 3 seed. And then in the east side, Jacksonville, another stunning upset. They absolutely obliterated the 1 seed Havelock, who had been rolling all year long. They beat Havelock 56-28. Wow. So Jacksonville, the 12 seed, is going to go on the road and play 71st. Know them very well. 71st, the 2 seed, defeated the Cinderella 30 seed, J.H. Rose. That run goes to an end. They defeat J.H. Rose 48-7. 71st being the 2 seed in the 3A East bracket. All right, 2A. Just talked about Monroe Shelby. Monroe is going to go on and they're going to host Brevard, the 9 seed, who is just playing lights out football, man. We hadn't really talked about them, but they have been really good. They defeated the 13 seed Forest Hills, who was playing good football, and they blew them out 57-14. Wow. Next week, we're going to dig into this Brevard team and see what makes them click, because they have been strong throughout the playoffs. So Monroe is the 3 seed hosting Brevard, the 9 seed. And then on the eastern side of things, the number 1 seed Northeastern moves on, and the number 2 seed Whiteville moves on as well. So little chalk in the east, 1 seed Northeastern hosting the number 2 seed Whiteville in 2A. All right, and then in 1A, we know Corvian is there in the West Final against Mountain Heritage. Mountain Heritage defeating, let me tell you who they defeated. Murphy. Okay, Mountain Heritage defeated Murphy 26-8 to move on and host Corvian next week. And then on the east side of things, Tarboro, a team we all know pretty well because they win a lot. They are the 1 seed. They move on and they defeat, I think it's that Perquimans. Is that their opponent? No, Pender. Okay. They defeat Pender 50-0, and they're going to host Wilson Prep, who for some reason doesn't have a seed on here. But it's weird. They're a 3 seed. They didn't show up there. But they are going to move on and play Wilson Prep, who defeated Lakewood 36-17. All right, so that's your playoff rundown right there. Last couple comments. Karen Belt. Hey, Karen. She says, "Go Brevard." What? Why are you a Brevard fan? It's interesting. I'm sure there's a story behind that. Nakisha, good to see you as always. And Davian Moore calling out J-Man for something. I'll leave that in the chat right there. All right, so this is the end of the show. Just want to say tomorrow we are having, well later on today now, we are having the CFI Winter Showcase at Rocky River High School. If you want to come out and see us and see a lot of the players, that we have been talking about all season long, feel free to do so. Admission is free. We don't charge anyone to come watch the showcase. The showcase will get started around 12 on the field. Players should be there at 11 unless you play special teams, which special teams should be there at 9. Um, Special team showcase will be from 9:30 to 11:30, and then we'll get the showcase going with everybody else at 12, and it'll end around 2:30 in the afternoon. We'll have college coaches there scouting players for potential scholarship offers. Yeah, yeah. So I'll be there. Producer will be there. Um, Kenneth, the engine, will be there. Adam, you just saw Adam will be there coaching linebackers. Um, I'm trying to think. I think yeah, Coach Dub will be there because his son's participating. Um, yeah, so a lot of CFI will be there. Um, Good deal. Appreciate you guys watching as always. Last couple comments right here. I see you, Karen and Jonathan Mitchell. Yeah, I led the show talking about you guys, man. So when this ends, you can go back and check it out. But yeah, I'm hurting for you guys. I really am, man. I thought you guys were gonna get it done. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Great season. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Next week, our plan is to go to Hickory and watch West Charlotte and Hickory. So I don't know if we'll have Friday Night Live coming from Hickory. Or maybe we'll do it in the car like Adam did, or maybe we'll find a local establishment in Hickory that's actually open late. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night and have a good weekend. If you come out tomorrow, make sure you come up and say hey. And I'll have free t-shirts for fans. I will have some free t-shirts. I don't know if I'll have your size, but good night, everybody.